Hello everyone. In this week's Students Achieve Supportcast, we'll look at how to report and grade your students that are on an adapted program. I'm going to begin here actually looking at the Students Achieve Moodle site because I want to make sure that before you start this process you have a chance to take a look at the process document for reporting and grading modified and adapted students. And you can find that on the Students Achieve Moodle site, right at the top of the page, and you'll see it right here. It says New Reporting and Assessing Adapted and Modified Students. I would again encourage you to spend the time to open this and read through it. It does talk in detail about both adapted and modified, as well as general differentiation for challenged students. So as you can see here, I have my Students Achieve open, and what I'm going to do is start by doing some assessment work and some marking of tasks for a student who's on an adapted program. So as you would normally do when you go to enter your marks, you would go through and plan your classroom assignments and then ultimately go to your input classroom marks to enter individual student grades. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Input Classroom Marks. Now I'm going to select the task that I'm going to mark as I normally would. And I'll go ahead and start entering marks. So you can see for all of my students in this particular strand, or particular task, I am marking them as proficient. However, Shanta here is on an adapted program. So what I've actually done is when I chose proficient for Shanta, I'm actually selecting proficient based on Shanta's ability at the grade level she's currently operating at. So this might be a grade 3 class. However, Shanta for this particular outcome may only be operating at a grade 2 level. And so when I choose proficient for Shanta, I need to note that that is based on the grade level that she's currently operating. So what I'll do in my individual assignment is I'm going to actually, under completion code, change this to adapted. What that's going to do is allow the term adapted to appear on the parent portal for Shanta. So when her parents go in, she's going to be able to see that she's at a proficient. However, this is proficient at an adapted level. And of course, it's always a good idea to enter some detailed comments to talk about that piece. And of course, I'm going to do this for all of Shanta's marks so that parents know how she's doing relative to her current goals or current abilities. At report card time, it's important to be able to denote adapted on the learner profile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into my input learner profile results as I would at any report card time. Let's say it was report period 2. And so I'm going to check out that social studies class that I have been grading Shanta at. So I'm going to click the edit button as I normally would. And you'll notice that as it always does, it has imported the calculated marks from my gradebook. If I've done some changes, it's important to always re-import, so it's just as simple as pushing this import classroom results button, and you'll see a little blue box briefly appear, and the current grades will appear inside the report card. Now for Shanta, she is running at, or she is working at a slightly lower grade level because she's on an adapted program. And so the first thing I need to do is make sure that the parents are aware of that. So under Shanta's program, I'm actually going to change this from regular, which is the default. I'm going to change it to adapted. That's going to cause the adapted box to appear on the at the top of the learner profile. However, I also need to make sure that it's very clear when the parents are looking at the learner profile that when I say proficient, it's not proficient relative to the current curriculum, but proficient relative to Shanta's adapted curriculum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click this drop down and either choose if this is something that's discussed as a goal in the IPP, I might change it to a refer to IPP. Or if it's just being adapted for this particular outcome, what I'll do is change it from proficient to proficient adapted. And again, the details of when you'll do that is in that document on the Students Achieve Moodle. And so I can go through and change all of these different outcomes from proficient to proficient adapted. And now when this report card prints, for Shanta's report card, instead of just saying proficient, it will say prof adapted. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to ask either myself or Lisa or Judy, and we can clarify any of these issues for you. And as always, take a look at the Students Achieve Moodle, as it will have more information on how you can or how to actually do this for both adapted and for modified students.